A lot of you who deal with international trade might be dealing with the problem of how do I send money quickly internationally in small amounts or large amounts for low transaction fees. And right now, here are existing solutions. And so a lot of these require bank accounts, which require identification, which require being a certain age. And then they take same day, but it can take up to 1 to 3 business days. And when you're dealing with maybe large amounts or timely matters, this isn't sufficient. At the same time, some of these require minimum transfer of a grand and isn't really practical for small time contract jobs. For minority programmers, there's development, there's hackathons, there's all that stuff. So none of the current solutions in the traditional finance sector, they take too long, they cost too much, and there are too many barriers to entry. So here I'm going to show you how to send money internationally to anyone, regardless of age, regardless of state, regardless of trade embargo. We don't care about all that. If I want to give you money for your work or money for anything or just give money, I can do it in a decentralized, relatively anonymous way very quickly, same day, within a minute. And I'm going to show you to do that today via setting up a MetaMask wallet on Binance Smart Chain. So some of y'all might have already bought cryptocurrencies and know what cryptocurrencies are. Some of y'all might have already bought cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin and Bitcoin on Robinhood. And what Robinhood is, it's not a real cryptocurrency because you don't have your own Web3 wallet or your own wallet to interact directly with the blockchain that you can access and only you can access. In these centralized exchanges, theoretically, if they shut down, they could take off your crypto. The only way that you shut down your wallet is if the whole blockchain shuts down. What the blockchain is, it's a decentralized network of computers computing, random puzzles or cryptographic hash functions to add your transaction to the overall ledger of transactions. And so what makes you having your cryptocurrency is your private key. And what your private key is derived from is your seed phrase, or 12 words, like English words, that you memorize and that you write down and give to absolutely no one. Because with this seed phrase, you're able to regenerate all your funds. So if I have your seed, I can regenerate your whole wallet while you're still logged in, and you won't get kind of any notification for it or anything like that. This right here is your money. Guard your seed phrase and keep it with you with all of your life. And so what Ethereum allows people to do is Ethereum basically built their own language on JavaScript called Solidity. And on Solidity, they had the ability to write smart contracts and deploy custom tokens like ERC20 tokens. So a lot of the cryptocurrencies you see today are just tokens on Ethereum's mainnet. But the thing about Ethereum is the gas fee, or the money that you pay, the transaction fee, the money that you pay these decentralized network of computers to add your transaction to the overall blockchain or the ledger of transactions is relatively high. So this is in dollar amounts. You can see sometimes it can be up to like 500, depending on how congested the network or how many people are trying to add to this overall ledger. And this takes a good amount of time as well. The more fees, usually the more time. And so right now it's around $62. So if you're sending $100 worth of Ethereum or any ERC20 token, so any token on their network, the gas that you pay is in Ethereum. And that's why Ethereum's price kind of goes up, because the whole ecosystem relies on Ethereum. Similarly, in the Binance Smart Chain, it's Binance. In Harmony, it's Harmony. On Matic, it's Matic. So that is $60. If you're sending $100, it's completely impractical to be sending this money through Ethereum. So right now, there are layer 2 solutions, or solutions that build on top of Ethereum's mainnet to scale down and to speed up transaction costs, but they compromise security and decentralization as a result. However, there is also completely separate chains, and with the ability to port or bridge or convert ERC20 tokens into specific chains. And in this case, we're using BSC, the Binance Smart Chain, where they have BEP20 tokens. This is not to be confused with BEP2 tokens or just regular BNB. Make sure you're actually sending BEP20 tokens and things on the Binance Smart Chain to your Binance Smart Chain wallet. And here is what I'm going to show you right here. So we're going to be using Metamask, and Metamask is a Web3 wallet. And what Web3 wallets are they're wallets that interact directly inside of the browser or interact directly with decentralized applications to instead of verifying to a third party, you can verify access to these applications via your wallet so you can interact directly with it. And so MetaMask is one that's built inside your browser, and it's built inside a Chromium browser. And what Chromium is, it's made by Chrome, but is the boilerplate or the template code for a lot of these browsers. So Brave, Firefox, Chromium, uh, Google Chrome are all Chromium browsers that MetaMask will work on, and it'll act as an extension. So the first step is to download MetaMask. It's either going to come as a particular download down here, and then you click on it in your downloads, which is like Control J on these Chromium browsers, or it will just appear when you say add to Chrome and add an extension. So right now it's going to populate in the corner right here. It's not going to show by default off the rip. You're going to have to actually pin the extension right here. So it's going to ask you to start getting set up. I'm going to do that in a second. So let's get started. The article I'm using right now is on docs.binance.org. It's fairly simple. So if you're just using Ethereum, this is already built in Ethereum and its test networks. And so let's just set it all up, and I'll show you all that a little bit later. So this is what I was talking about with the seed phrase. If you had a seed phrase, you can just get a new MetaMask and completely back it up, and your funds will regenerate right here. But we're creating a wallet from the start. So you click on Create Wallet. And then we're going to choose a password. And the password for this is how you log into your MetaMask browser wallet. Within MetaMask, you can have multiple wallets. This isn't to be confused. So every time your browser opens up, usually it'll ask you for your password to access all your accounts within that MetaMask. And so a lot of people, what they do is they use multiple different browsers like Firefox and Brave, and they have different MetaMask on each one. So this is not to be confused with your seed, because this cannot regenerate your funds. This can only access it within the browser where you have this set up. But you can always take your seed, set up, import it in, and put a different password on a different MetaMask. So this is really just to access during this. So this is something you will never show anyone, your secret backup phrase. This is that private key we're talking about, or the seed phrase that generates the private key. So this is even more important. But this is basically your super password. It regenerates everything. These are the 12 words. You're going to write that down and copy it. I'm just going to paste it. And now it's going to ask you to put that in order. And so I pasted it right here just for reference. So it's raccoon, fun. And normally no one would show you this at all. The only reason why I'm showing this is I will never use this wallet again. I'm not only going to delete this MetaMask, I'm not going to even use Chromium, but that doesn't really matter. I'm just never going to use this again because you guys have it, and that just would be dumb. And I'm never going to send money as a demo, because you can see this wallet and you can trace the transactions as well through the Block Explorer. And so let's go to conduct and then cycle. First, clump, north, like, grunt. The like was before clump, and then confirm. All right. And so again, never share this with anyone. And so this is what's considered a hot wallet. So people traditionally who are doing long-term holds store it on a cold storage wallet. Since this is in a browser, there's potential for more attacks on that end. So just be cognizant of that. And off the rip, you can see it's default set to Ethereum mainnet with ETH right here. And this is for all ERC20 tokens. If you want to add a token, you can actually look at the token address and add it manually that way. But that's besides the point. Your account, your address for Ethereum network and all the mainnets are exactly the same. So when you are sending money on Binance Smart Chain, make sure you are not on the Ethereum mainnet, as the addresses are the same. You only send money on the network where the money is. You can only send Binance to Binance and Ethereum to Ethereum and Kovan testnet to Kovan testnet. This is a potential way you can lose your money, so do not do this. So off the rip, you're going to set up your custom RPC. And this is basically setting up your network. The process is the same for Harmony or any other chain. You're going to choose a network name. In this case, it's Binance Smart Chain, and I'm getting it from that article. You're going to choose bsc-dataseed.binance.org. The chain ID, I believe, is 56. The currency symbol is BNB, and the block explorer is Binance Scan. Although this is optional, what this allows you to do is it's a forward-facing interface to see all the transactions. That blockchain we were talking about, you can directly see it in live time at BinanceScan.com. And by putting it here, when you have a transaction, there's the option to open it up in the Explorer. And so when transactions are pending, which is more important for Ethereum, where it takes longer, and you want to see if it's going through. And transactions can fail if the gas is insufficient or if the network is too congested. So you just send that again. You can directly see it on the block explorer of who sent what to where and whether it's pending or confirmed. And now we set that up, it automatically switched to Binance Smart Chain, and so you can switch and toggle right here. So this whole view right here is within your browser right here. So you can switch again to the Binance Smart Chain. And so again, the address is the same, so make sure you're sending from Binance Smart Chain to Binance Smart Chain. But I'll show you how people would send you money. They'll send you money and they'll just put your address here. So you can copy this, and this would be like sending money to yourself. You'll put the amount, and you'll put the amount of gas you want to put, or the amount of BNB, which is the gas for the Binance Smart Chain, and the max amount that you would want to pay on that end. But usually I don't even play around with this. I just put the amount and just click next, and it sends. But to receive, you're going to copy this address, and you're going to send that over directly to someone. So I tend to send people via email or encrypted messenger, so they can just copy and paste, and don't worry about manually copying this in. And you can see directly your whole wallet address in the Binance Smart Chain right here. So if you have a transaction or any transactions, you can see who it's from, where it's going to, and the value, amount, and the transaction fee or the gas fee directly there. And you can download this as a CSV and do more analytics on this as well. If you go to Binance Smart Chain, you can see all the transactions going on. You can get a better sense of the whole economy that's going on as well. So the thing about this is that a lot of people, what they tend to do is they add different accounts within the same MetaMask wallet for the different chains. You can have Ethereum ERC20 tokens on here, and then BEP20 Binance tokens on here. Make sure that these are BEP20, not BEP2 or regular BNB, which is completely different. You want to make sure you are on the Binance Smart Chain. Another thing people will do is they'll make completely different MetaMask on different browsers or Chromium browsers, and that's why I mentioned it. You can have like up to 4 different MetaMask. I mean, you can have way more based on if it's a Chromium browser, but if you're using, like, you can have one on Firefox, you can have one on Chromium, you can have one on Google Chrome, you can have one on Brave, and then within that you can have unlimited accounts within it, and then within that you can have different chains within it as well. So that's commonly what people do. They also expand the view, like I was showing you, like how it's set up. So a lot of times when you're on dApps and you click out, it kind of undoes your project. So this is a good way to interact on that end. But really, just sending this address, and in this case, if you're getting money from me, you just send me this address right here, and then I'll make sure to send you on the Binance Smart Chain. And so a lot of times if you're taking other money, you have to add the token manually, just like you would do on Ethereum. But you can also see the activity of the transaction. So if I were to send you, it'll probably see off the rip pending, and then it'll say confirmed, and then you can view it on the block explorer. Or it'll pop up on your address, and you can click on the transaction, which is the transaction hash, or the transaction ID. So this is the best way to send money, in my opinion, because the Binance Smart Chain, that ecosystem, because of the small transaction fees, and there wasn't really any competitors with that large of an ecosystem. Keep in mind, like, Binance is one of the largest trading platforms in terms of volume in the world, and so they already had kind of these early adopters to build on to their Ethereum compatible ecosystem that now enables so much to happen because of the small transaction fees. And so there's a huge ecosystem with billions of dollars already on this blockchain, and which is kind of way more than Harmony, which is faster and also cheaper. But this has a larger ecosystem, which is why we use this. But similarly, if I was sending you an ERC20 token, you would just switch to the mainnet, and you can see there, but the address is the same. So that's what I want to emphasize. So the key takeaways from this is, via your wallet browser, you can configure on Binance Smart Chain so you can send money and receive money anywhere in the world to anyone for minimal for cents, no matter how large the transaction is, relatively quickly. You have to make sure that you have your seed, because your seed is your funds, and that you give it to no one else. And you also have to make sure you're sending on chain to the same amount, to the same type of chain, Binance to Binance, Ethereum to Ethereum, Harmony to Harmony. Other than that, you can start connecting this wallet and interacting with decentralized apps. You can start sending money to your friends. And all it takes is that address.